Slightly chilly conditions greeted the players for day one of the 14th edition of the Kazakhstan Open, presented by ERG at Zhailjau Golf Resort. Number one on the road to Ras Al Khaimah, Dane Joachim B. Hansen showed a great touch around the green as he nearly holed a chip here on the 9th. He'd finished the day with a 1 under par 71. One of the more unlucky shots of the day came from Chilean Hugo Leon. His birdie putt here on the 5th thought twice about dropping. He'd still finish with a 4 under par 68 for a place inside the top 10. Northern Irishman Michael Hoey was one shot better off with a 67. The Ulsterman had a bogey-free round and showed great control with his irons. American Sean Crocker narrowly missed this birdie attempt. He had 9 birdies in his first round for an opening 6 under par 66. One of the best of the afternoon players was Englishman Max Orin. He joined the group on 6 under par. Unfortunately, he finished with a bogey on the last, but it was good work on day one. Fellow countryman Jack Singh Brar was the last man in at 6 under. The winner at the Kazakhstan Golf Open only had one blemish on his card, a great round from one of the current in-form players. German Moritz Lampert was the man out in front though after day one. His round included 5 birdies and 2 eagles through 15 holes. He did bogey 16 and 17, but a birdie at the last was a great bounce back, and he was delighted with his day's work.
Obviously it was brilliant. I'm just delighted to be here. I'm playing on an invite, so very grateful for that, to get an invite to such a big event. Thanks to the Federation, and it's my 3rd time here in Kazakhstan, and well, 65 is always great. Made 2 eagles, shot the par 5s and 7 under par, so that was the key today.
Other notables on the leaderboard from day one are Liam Johnston from Scotland, carding a 6 under 66. Dane Mark Flint Hastrup joined him on that mark, and last week's winner Englishman Tom Lewis kept up his good form with a 4 under 68. Perfect golfing conditions were in store for the players on day 2 of the Kazakhstan Open, presented by ERG. Paul Maddy, who currently sits at 139 on the road to Ras Al Khaimah, showed the quality of his golf doesn't reflect in his ranking. The Englishman came home in 31 for a 6 under 66, his iron game looking particularly on top form. Northern Irishman Michael Hoey kept his assault on the top of the leaderboard on course, shooting a 5 under 67 to get to a total of 10 under par. The experienced Ulsterman is well placed for the weekend. Another player on 10 under par is Portuguese Pedro Figueiredo, who won his first tournament earlier this year. He produced a 5 under 67 with 6 birdies and only 1 drop shot. Scotland's Liam Johnston had the lead at the middle of his back 9, but 2 bogeys in his last 3 holes pegged him back slightly. It was still a good round of 67. Last week's winner and European Tour winner Tom Lewis showed his game was still on top form with a 6 under 66 on day 2. The Englishman was making the most of the great condition of the greens. Tying the course record and the round of the week so far went to Nathan Kimsey. The Englishman had a bogey-free 9 under par 63. He came close to adding another one on the 17th, and he would join the large group on 11 under par. Another bogey-free round came from Scot Callum Hill. He had a great run of 3 birdies from the 12th hole, but also proved he was good at protecting his score. Englishman Ben Stowe, the winner of the Prague Golf Challenge, had 7 birdies and 1 eagle through 17 holes to get to -13 and a 64 on the day. Joining him at the top of the leaderboard would be fellow countryman Max Orin, ranked 36th on the road to Ras Al Khaimah. He went one better today with a 7 under 65, which included 8 birdies and a solitary drop shot. Stowe could have taken the outright lead from Orin, only for his birdie attempt on 18 to just miss on the right side. But he was looking forward to the weekend.
Playing really nice. I think this golf course suits me, and you know, it's a nice event to kind of be up there in contention. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Moritz Lampert followed up his good first round with a 4 under 68. Portuguese Jose Filipe Lima carded his best round of the week with a 65. Moving day arrived at the Kazakhstan Open presented by ERG, and with low scoring a feature of the week so far, it looked like the trend would continue. Number 1 on the road to Ras Al Khaimah, Joachim B. Hansen showed his intent with a great approach to the par 4 first. The Dane would convert the birdie and finish the day with a 3 under par 69 and a 12 under par total to be just outside the top 10. The first would be a happy hunting ground for many of the players, and Englishman Tom Lewis nearly holed his second shot following a huge drive. Joint overnight leader Ben Stowe took full advantage of an errant tee shot on day 3 with his sublime recovery from the rough to set up an opening birdie. 4 under through 6, he would reach the turn in 31. Former qualifying school winner Nathan Kimsey had a third round 68 to be 15 under par. A fantastic run of 6 birdies from the third saw the Englishman move impressively into contention going into Sunday. Fellow countryman Tom Murray joined him on that mark. The former European Tour player had 7 birdies and 1 bogey in a round of 66. Ben Stowe was leading for most of the day, but a double bogey on the 16th pulled him back to 4th place with a round of 66. One shot better is the winner of the Bridgestone Challenge, Lewis, who has a win on the European Tour to his name. He shot a bogey-free round of 7 under par 65. Finishing his round with 5 birdies in his last 7 holes, Scotland's Liam Johnston cemented second place going into the final round. With his iron play on top form, he'll look to pressurise the leader. But round of the day and the week went to American Sean Crocker, playing his first season on the Challenge Tour. The man born in Harare, Zimbabwe, but who now lives in Florida, went 8 under through 12 holes. He'd finished the day with a course record 10 under par 62 and will go into Sunday with a 1-shot lead. And he was delighted with his round.
I mean, I played really well. I hit a lot of good shots. I made a lot of good putts. It's probably one of the best rounds I've played in some time, if not ever.
The leaderboard confirms Crocker's great round. Other notables are England's Max Orin, who shot a 70. With a tight leaderboard, it was an exciting day ahead in the final round of the Kazakhstan Open presented by ERG. Starting strongly was Englishman Max Orin, who was 5 shots off overnight leader Sean Crocker. A birdie here at the first was followed by another at the par 3 second to move within striking distance. Likewise, fellow countryman Tom Murray made the same start to his day. A stunning birdie here at the opening hole saw the 2015 Irish Challenge champion get off to the best possible start. Crocker, who carded a course record 62 yesterday, hit a fantastic approach to the first, but the American couldn't convert. A bogey followed at the 4th, and the 22-year-old saw his lead diminish. His playing partner Liam Johnston had this par putt on the first, which brushed agonisingly past the hole. He'd bounced back with a birdie at the par 3 second, following a great tee shot. Max Orin made an impressive move up the leaderboard after holding this for eagle on the par 5 6th. He would join the leaders after a birdie on the 9th, but a disappointing back 9 saw him fall away into a share of 5th. Murray continued to make all the right moves with a birdie here on the 6th, and thoughts of a second Challenge Tour victory were surely in his mind. Possibly the putt of the day came from Ben Stowe, the Englishman holding this gigantic one for eagle on the par 5 6th. This would take him to 19 under and one shot off the lead. He'd go on to birdie the 9th and 12th, but like Orin, he fell away on the back 9. A disastrous triple bogey on the par 5 15th put pay to any chance of victory. Playing in the final group, Liam Johnston holed a fantastic putt for birdie on the par 5 6th to get to 20 under. Another birdie followed at the 8th, and the Scot was now a serious title contender. Crocker also converted for birdie on 6, and the American had steadied the ship to join an ever-growing pack on 20 under par. Murray joined that score when he converted for birdie here on the 9th, and the tournament was warming up into a fantastic climax. Another great approach to the 9th for Johnston would set up a realistic eagle opportunity. That put pressure on playing partner Crocker, and the American found the water hazard to the right of the 9th green. The resulting bogey would see the end of his title challenge, eventually finishing in a share for 3rd. Johnston stood over the eagle putt knowing it would take him into the outright lead. And to the crowd's delight, he converted. This would give the Scot a one-shot advantage heading into the back 9. Tom Murray kept his title ambitions very much alive with a birdie here at the 14th to join Johnston at the top of the leaderboard. However, bogeys at 17 and 18 would end his chances of victory, eventually finishing in sole possession of 2nd place. Johnston came down the last with a 2-shot lead, but nearly hit his 2nd shot from a fairway bunker out of bounds. However, much to his delight, it stayed inbounds. A resulting free drop from the cart path was followed by a sublime pitch to within 4 feet. The winning putt went in, and the Scot had his 2nd win of the year, following victory at the Andalusia Costa del Sol match play back in May. A rise to 4th in the Road to Ras Al Khaimah rankings was his reward. The leaderboard confirms Johnston as the champion of the 2018 Kazakhstan Open presented by ERG. Other notables in the final round were Englishman Tom Lewis and Roman Langasque, who fired an impressive 8 under par 64 to finish tied 5th. But the plaudits went to Johnston, who picked up a cheque for €72,000 along with an impressive trophy. The Challenge Tour heads to France next week for the Hops Open de Provence. So remember to keep up to date with all the action from day 1 on social media and challengetour.com.